yeah, that's my preferred playstyle, is to be able to do what I want when I want, and do how things how I want them to be done. Um, I mean, getting hints from things, now that's really useful. It's one of the things Dishonored did, and I'm going to keep mentioning it because it's probably the best stealth game I've seen for a while. If you're walking around the city, or you're in the middle of a mission or something, you can hear people talking about either things in the environment, or other characters, or the target, and they can give you useful hints and tips and bits of information, like, I don't know, that they are allergic to shellfish or something, and that means often that it will open up an alternative route, an alternative sort of plan of action. Um, so you can assassinate someone. Instead of just going up to them and stabbing them, you can kind of sneak into the kitchen and put some lobster on their plate, douse it in lobster oil or something, and then they die, and it looks like an accident or whatever, and it means that you don't have to get into combat. But there's also this often kind of opens up non-combat, not non-combat, sort of non-hostile ways of getting rid of people that isn't killing them, basically. So, for example, you can, with one particular group, one particular pair that you have to assassinate, you can sell them to slavery with their own to their own company. So you basically get into a situation where they get kidnapped by their own people and put in slavery. So they work in their own silver mines, and are never heard from again. And because they're gone, it allows your sort of rebel organization to try and take control of the city again, because they're no longer around. And that is kind of one of the things I think is missing from Black Flag, at least so far. I think it's just a change of mindset, away from stealth and more towards the sort of action adventure style, where you are running around a world and you are attacking all sorts of things and getting into combat whenever you deem necessary, rather than sneaking around, which is kind of more what I'd expect an assassin to do, rather than going crazy and just murdering whoever he felt he needed to. Which you can do. You can do in Dishonored as well, if you really want to play as a crazy knife-wielding maniac. There is nothing stopping you playing a crazy knife-wielding maniac. In fact, the game has a bunch of abilities which are specifically for the crazy knife-wielding maniacs. However, doing that raises what's known as chaos in the city. So if you go around murdering people, there'll be more guards around. There'll also be more sort of, not depravatory, that's the wrong word, I can't even say that. There'll be more negative elements in the world. One of the problems in Dunwall, which is the city, is there's a plague, and this is spread by rats, and the rats are ravenous, horrible things that attack anyone on sight because they're it's like they have rabies or something. And if you go around murdering people and causing lots of chaos, then more of these will spawn and give you a harder time of it. It'll make the game harder in some ways, but you can easily get to your targets because you can just murder anyone in the way, or if you really want to, you can you can do all sorts of things, but the downside is high chaos. Now, as you probably guessed, I prefer to play through in a stealthy way, just because I find it more fun. I find it more interesting. Like, if I want just to kill someone, if I just want a violent game, I'll go play something kind of a dumb action shooter like COD or something, where the gameplay is the kind of eliminating of people, rather than the interesting kind of finding a way around, planning an attack. If the solution to the problem is shoot them all or stab them all, I kind of often lose interest in it, because there are other games that scratch that itch better than stealth games. So that's kind of my feeling on Black Flag so far. I'll probably update you. I'm not going to do a playthrough of it because it's one of these games that's so popular that it kind of gets done to death. And I mean, okay, so I'm currently recording Minecraft, so things being done to death is somewhat of a sort of minor point, at least with certain things. Like, I started with Minecraft because, as I said in the first video, I kind of wanted to help people understand my logic when building. And I've been building this thing, and I haven't actually been talking about it, so there goes that. But yeah, I'm going to try and stay away from massively overdone series. Like, I thought about doing a Kerbal Space Program playthrough. Oh, those are slabs, not blocks. I thought about doing a Kerbal Space Program playthrough because I like Kerbal Space Program. It's a very fun game, and I have spent quite a lot of time playing it, even recently, with the new science patch. But there are people out there who do it so much better than me, and do it really interestingly and enjoyably. And I don't think I could be up to their standard, especially to someone like, for instance, Scott Manley, who is the main Kerbal Space Program videos I watch, who knows quite a bit about space as a general topic, and also knows a lot about physics. So not only are his videos really interesting from a kind of, if you're interested in space, you'll be interested in some of the things he has to say, but he also can do an orbit in about 5 seconds without having to think about it, and it takes me... well, no, I'm better than that. I can get into an orbit pretty easily now. Anyway, I'm not going to be doing a Kerbal Space Program playthrough. I might do, like, if I end up doing this more professionally, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. If I end up doing this, spending a lot more time doing videos, I might end up doing one, just partly out of interest, because it's another series to do. It's something I do enjoy, and it does record quite well, it does play quite well, which is why it's sort of been done quite a lot. However, no plans for that at the moment. Still planning on doing Thief when it comes out. It's one of those titles where I am worried about how it's actually going to play when it comes out. Like, for instance, as I said before, they're changing the voice actor, which you'd imagine, like, it seems like such a minor thing to be disappointed by, but I think his voice is so integral to that character that it just it concerns me. I think it marks a change in this. I think it marks a change in the gameplay style almost. I think it's going to end up being a lot more like the action adventure style rather than the sneak around doing your own plan kind of, akin to Dishonored. I mean, it's been quoted as being a bit Dishonored-y, so being like Dishonored, which, to be fair, Dishonored is heavily based on the Thief series in the first place, and it's not surprising that something based on the Thief series will end up, or the new Thief series will end up being very similar to what the new Thief series is going to be like. Or words. I think I said the same thing twice there, but it worries me, but we'll have to see when it comes out. Anyway, back to this building, which I've been getting on with while completely just talking my face off at you. I've got this curve here for the stairs on Not really that happy with it. Not quite sure why. I think it's this section here that's slightly better, but it's still not quite right. This doesn't have to be perfect by any means because it's actually not going to be used that much. It's mostly just going to be an access route through. And I think I'm just going to bring it down to this level and then have a normal staircase down inside. Yeah. One of the problems with working with these sort of curves is knowing kind of, because you're working in blocks one by one, you have to balance the kind of, like this section here, this curve, where it goes from being, I think this is north to south. North to south? I can't remember that, yeah. North to south to, so the transition going from north to south, which is that axis, to east to west, which is this axis, that's difficult to do in one by one blocks, because at some point you have to go diagonal, and a transition to diagonal is irritating when you're trying to do things like this. I mean, that's actually not a bad... Let's get some more. I have some more slabs, but let's get some more. So this is why I want inventory tweaks, because inventory tweaks would have refilled my slabs if I had any slabs in my toolbar, in my inventory even. So that's a slightly better curve. What I've done is basically filled in. I've basically made. Go away! Nobody likes you. Oh bugger! Where are you? Ow! That was my face. That's gonna hit the ceiling. There we go. Right. What I've done is kind of filled in, backfilled even, to make that more diagonal. This approach more diagonal. There is an odd thing here where, because of the way these slabs go, at some point you're going to have a kind of transition from one... Yeah, from this straight to this diagonal, which basically means because of the way these stairs go, you're going to end up with, oh, for the love of ghasts, go away. Oh, that was so close. Boom. I'm going to run out of arrows at this rate. Oh, he didn't die. It would have been so good if he died then. There we go. Actually, we have 2 arrows left. I may have to go back and get arrows. Hello, baby pigman. So this'll do. This'll do. I need to put an outside wall on it, and I need to mirror the construction to this side. Why I'm using slabs here, I don't know. I could be using blocks. I don't know if slabs are actually more efficient than blocks in terms of kind of turning blocks into slabs if you end up with more to place. Never actually thought about that, because I think it's just straight 3 to 3 though, so it's probably not. It's probably not worth it. Probably doesn't make any difference. What I mean is, when you create slabs, or maybe it's 6. when you create slabs, you go doosh. Yeah, so we actually get more placement. So for each 3 blocks of cobble, you get 6 slabs, so it doubles your available slabs, available coverage for floors. If you don't mind having slabs, so 1, 2, 3, 5. Which is quite useful to know. Oh, wait, no, where did that start? Okay, well, yeah, right. So from here it's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bugger. And then it's 2, and then it starts to curve. And it's not a curve, it's a straight diagonal line. So 1, 2. Then it does the line. There we go. And then this curve is going to be a pain to do. So instead of doing it now, I'm going to get on with this direction. And I'm not tracking how long this is taking, how long this recording is. I'll probably split this video up if it's longer than 25 minutes or so. But I may end the video at some point and take a short break. Oop. I've noticed this with Minecraft, that recently I keep mining blocks that I don't mean to mine, like past things. Like I'll be mining this block here, and somehow mine the block behind it without ever actually feeling like I've changed the direction. Okay, so we have kind of a rough shape. I want to add some detail now. I kind of do this detail pass thing, which is actually probably not a good idea. In the sense that it's kind of a bad habit to get into to build something, because you end up building it twice essentially. One time when you're actually defining the shape, and then another time when you're adding detail. And I really should like plan things better and actually think about them better. But oh well. Needs must or something. If I go too far that direction, I'm going to fall off. So just adding these slabs to kind of define the top, add a line of contrast across, which kind of breaks up the monotony of cobble, which is not the nicest material to work with. It's a little boring. It's a little... It's not that it's ugly, but because it's so available, it's like you end up just seeing cobble cubes a lot of the time. Which, in some cases, cobble cubes aren't the worst thing in the world. Sometimes what's called for is a cobble cube, and that's fine. No problem with that. Often on servers, my house for the longest time is just a cobble cube. Usually when I'm in the stage of getting materials, and then at some point magically it will turn into a building, and people will be like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Because I would have just saved up materials, and then one day I'd just go, right, okay, starting it now. And like overnight build something huge, because I've just been sat on a bunch of materials. It's a good way to work, I find. If you've got a project in mind, and you don't quite know kind of how much, you haven't worked out how many materials, you haven't worked out the material requirements yet. It's quite nice just to have a little house, dross about, work out what you want to do some mining, almost wait to see what other people build if you're on a server. Partly just because, like, I often find that I get inspired by other people's ideas. Like, I'll see someone building something, I'll go, ah, yeah, that's a cool idea. I can. Often instead of going, oh, I know how to do that better, it's more sort of, ah, okay, your idea has inspired me to build something. It's not similar, but it's just kind of like, it sparks something. Right. Okay, well, I'm going to end the video here. I have absolutely no idea how long this video is going to be. So this either is going to be quite a short video, or quite a long video, or it might not actually be the end of the video at all. But because of my lack of time knowledge, and kind of my requirement to take a 10-minute break because my eyes are hurting from this flicker, and I kind of need the bathroom, if you must know. Not that you. Oh, hello. There we go. Anyway, yes. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you either in a couple of seconds or next time. Goodbye.